you might be in more than one place at the same time. Some of your particles go over here, and some of them go over here, and some of them go to this planet, some of them go to that planet. I know this sounds crazy, but just bear with me just for a minute, because it's going to all make sense in a second. And part of you is up there, and maybe some of you combines with other pink clouds or blue clouds or yellow clouds, and so there is a mixture. And that is why maybe you meet your soulmate when you're back down here. There's some kind of part of you that's part of them. I mean, we're all one, right? We've talked about this a million times. Everybody talks about this all the time. I don't know if they really understand it, but they talk about it a lot. We're all one thing. It's like the organism in the forest, you know, that is like the mushroom, but it's like this whole organism of mushroom underneath it all, right? Or the trees, right? That's all one organism. That's a great metaphor for understanding. Okay, so let's just say that you're out there and you're combining and then breaking away, and you make those choices, and then you see that body and you animate that body. I think it's possible. You know, I saw this medium once, and he said he didn't believe in samsara. He did not believe in reincarnation because he had a connection to the spirit world, and he speaks to specific people. And he had all this verifiable proof, obviously, with his gift. And so he couldn't believe that people would reincarnate. He even said, well, maybe reincarnation is real, but it's rare, which it either is or it isn't, right? You know. So here's the thing. I think it's quite possible that you animate more than one thing. And since you are kind of eternal and infinite and part of something bigger, and that there's sort of an in and out kind of, you know, thing, that each separate meat bag that you animate, each personality, each idea, essence, which is all part of the other essence, might each get its own soul progression. So that reincarnation is true, and so is heaven, or the bardos, or hell, or, you know, whatever your soul progression is. If you don't understand soul progression, many people believe that, you know, when you die, depending on how you lived your life and what you overcame or learned or whatever, you know, that would put you in a particular level, that there are many levels to the afterlife. I think this is probably very close to being true. And that if you read Wanderer in the Spirit Lands, that would be helpful to understanding this. It was written in 1896, but it's still pretty valid. What that would be is that you would animate each meat bag, have that soulful experience here, go to whatever level it is, but each entity, each sort of manifestation of personality of you would have its own experience of the bardos, of the heavens or hells, or wherever you're at. And so it's all kind of happening at the same time. I don't know. I mean, I probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and mostly this is just for myself, just to get this out there, because I think about a lot of stuff all the time. But I think it's quite possible that they are not mutually exclusive, that quantum entanglement bridges the gap between soul progression, the afterlife, you know, like that other, the spirit world, where if you were an asshole during your life and you like killed a bunch of people, then you go to a spirit world that looks similar to this but is like dark and horrible, and you look dark and horrible, and then you have to like work through all this shit so you can go to the next one and the next one, etc. And then it starts to get better. Like if you're a fucking Gandhi, then maybe when you go to heaven it's all peaches and cream. I don't know. But that you, and the reason why we don't have any awareness of it or perception of it, of the reincarnation thing, is because each time you do it, each entity who does it animates the meat bag. You know, when you go through the tunnel and you come back in, your memory is wiped clean. You got to start everything new. You're supposed to start it all new every time because you have to learn. So you have to have it wiped clean. You have to begin with a clean slate. There are things that you'll pull back at midlife and then you realize things, right? But mostly it's just a fucking mystery, the whole thing, and just a real mess. But, you know, you've got to go through it. I think it's possible that's why we're not in, that's why when you pass over, a medium could then, you know, contact you and speak to your living people. That's why they're ghosts, is what I'm saying. And because those people are living in the bardos in the afterlife, and they either are too attached here, they want to come back or whatever. But having said that, that doesn't, like this medium, like, I'm not really sure if that's right, that there is no reincarnation, because there's too many examples of that, and people that have remembered things, but not even just that, but just I think you're bigger than that. I really do. I guess I think you're even bigger than just a one soul animating one body and then going to heaven or hell, or the bardo, the many layers, and then doing your soul progression. Like, I know you can't die. Like, I know all that, but I think that there's more to it even than that. I think you're bigger than that. I think that you are multifarious, multi-layered, fractal, concentric. Like, you've got a lot of stuff. And I think I also think if you do understand quantum entanglement and quantum harmonics, then you would probably understand that you would be like a prism, like many sides. And also like time, like if we start talking about time, then you're going to realize it doesn't matter anyway, because you are one whole story. It's not like you're well, this is really for another video. This is like this is a big one too, but suffice it to say, I'll get to that one shortly. I think that the essence of what I'm trying to say here is that soul progression, the layers of the afterlife or the spirit world, may possibly not be mutually exclusive against this idea of samsara, of reincarnation. I think it's possible that they are both true, and that makes it even more complex. But I have a pretty clear picture that this whole thing is way more complex, you know, than we're dealing with. And I think what we're dealing with is as much as we can deal with here. That is all for today. That's 17 minutes. That's more than I wanted to say. Goodbye.